14 minutes ago, Jin speaks out in panic as Jungkook flies to the US. What is really happening? A shocking twist has just ignited a storm of speculation across the global fanbase. Jin has finally broken his silence, and his visibly panicked reaction to Jungkook's sudden departure to the United States has stunned millions. What is driving this tension? Why did Jin appear so shaken the moment news emerged that Jungkook had boarded a flight to New York to attend the Calvin Klein show at New York Fashion Week on September 13, 2025 KST? And more importantly, what is Jin not telling the world? These questions are now spreading rapidly among fans and analysts alike, as the situation grows increasingly unclear. Observers were expecting excitement, not anxiety, from Jin when Jungkook's travel plans became public. Instead, his reaction has been described as strained, uneasy, and hesitant, sparking suspicions that there may be hidden pressures or internal conflicts that are not being disclosed. Why would the eldest member of BTS, known for his composure and steady demeanor, suddenly display signs of alarm just as Jungkook steps onto an international stage again? Could there be underlying disputes behind the scenes? Or is Jin aware of something that could change the trajectory of the group entirely? These unanswered questions are fueling an escalating sense of unease. What makes this situation more perplexing is the timing. Jungkook had only recently completed his mandatory military service, and the public expected his first international appearance to be celebrated with collective pride. Instead, Jin's tense reaction has created the opposite effect, a wave of concern and suspicion. Was this trip truly just about fashion? Or is it part of a larger, more secretive plan involving BTS's long-anticipated 2026 comeback? Fans are now dissecting every gesture, every expression from Jin, searching for hidden meaning in his unease. The intensity of Jin's expression as he addressed the topic has become a focal point. Witnesses have described his tone as unusually sharp and his answers as fragmented, as if he was weighing each word carefully to avoid revealing too much. Why would he be so guarded if this were a routine appearance? Why does his body language suggest worry rather than pride? This contrast is deepening the mystery, leaving many to wonder if Jungkook's departure is more than what it seems. Could this signal internal disagreements about schedules, artistic directions, or personal well-being? Fans are now raising even more disturbing questions. Did Jungkook leave Korea abruptly, without consulting the other members? Did Jin find out too late? And is this what triggered his panicked response? If so, what does that say about the current state of communication within BTS? For years, the group has been presented as united and carefully coordinated, but Jin's sudden unease has cracked that image in the eyes of many. Could this be a glimpse into deeper fractures within the team that have remained hidden until now? Speculation has only intensified after it was revealed that Jungkook's trip coincides with secret meetings in New York rumored to involve high-profile figures from the fashion and entertainment industries. Was this journey truly just about Calvin Klein, or is there a much larger collaboration being set in motion, one that Jin may not have been fully informed about? His reaction suggests either surprise or disapproval, both of which raise further questions about how aligned the members are in their post-military plans. Is Jin worried that Jungkook might be taking steps that could distance him from the group's collective comeback? Some close observers have noted that Jin's decision to speak out at all is unusual in itself. Normally known for his restraint, he has chosen this moment and this topic to finally show visible emotion. Why now? Why speak only after Jungkook is already en route to the US? Could this indicate that Jin was caught off guard and is now trying to signal his concern indirectly? The fact that he spoke so soon after the news broke, just minutes after Jungkook's flight was confirmed, adds to the perception that this was an emotional, spontaneous reaction rather than a calculated statement. Adding to the confusion, there are whispers circulating among fans that Jin's panic might be rooted in fears about Jungkook's health and emotional state. After completing military service, many idols experience a turbulent transition period. Did Jin believe Jungkook needed more time to readjust before facing intense public scrutiny again? Is this why his voice seemed strained and his words unusually cautious when addressing the issue? If so, His reaction could be less about disapproval and more about deep concern, but without confirmation, no one can be sure. Every second of Jin's brief remarks is now being analyzed, slowed down, and replayed by fans who are desperate to decode what he might have been trying to hide. Some claim they saw him avoid eye contact when Jungkook's name was mentioned, while others point to the sudden drop in his tone as evidence of suppressed anxiety. Why is Jin, usually a symbol of composure, now radiating visible stress? Could this mean that BTS's internal dynamics are shifting in ways the public has not yet seen? What cannot be ignored is the emotional impact this has had on fans worldwide. Social media platforms are flooded with worried messages, theories, and pleas for reassurance. Armies are not just curious, they are unsettled. They are asking why Jin seemed so distressed, what he might know that they do not, and whether this signals trouble ahead for the group's unity. Is this a temporary emotional crack, or a warning of something far more serious unfolding behind closed doors? The fact that this all centers on Jungkook's first major international appearance after military service makes the situation even more sensitive. This was supposed to be a celebratory return to the spotlight, yet instead it has become shrouded in doubt. And the person who ignited that doubt, whether intentionally or not, is Jin, the very member fans look to as a steady anchor. Why did he allow his panic to show? What does he fear might happen while Jungkook is in the US? And most chillingly, what if Jin's concern is justified? Until clear answers emerge, one thing is undeniable. Jin's panicked reaction has transformed what should have been a triumphant moment into a moment of uncertainty and tension. His decision to speak out, the tremor in his voice, and the timing of his remarks, just 14 minutes after Jungkook's departure was confirmed, have all fused together into a single, haunting question echoing across the fandom. There is now growing speculation that Jin's panic may be tied to sensitive internal discussions about the future structure of BTS's comeback. According to multiple insider-style analyses circulating among fans, some members are rumored to have different timelines and creative visions for their return. Could Jungkook's sudden decision to fly to New York, without waiting for the group to announce their next steps collectively, be seen by Jin as a potential disruption to that fragile balance? If Jin believes the group must present a united front, Jungkook's solo appearance at such a high-profile international event might have triggered fears that the public will interpret it as a sign of division. This would explain why Jin appeared anxious rather than proud. Others suggest Jin's reaction may stem from a personal sense of responsibility. As the eldest member, he might feel obligated to safeguard the group's image during this delicate transition period. Watching Jungkook re-enter the global spotlight under intense media attention could have filled him with apprehension about how even a single misstep might affect BTS's collective reputation. If that is the case, Jin's panic is not rooted in anger, but in deep protective concern, a silent alarm from someone who sees risks no one else is willing to acknowledge.